Hello and happy Halloween from the Ghost Chaser's daughter, Emily Hill. I am here at Edmonds Memorial Cemetery to read to you unauthorized stories of Edmonds ghost sightings. As the luminous moon rises and charts its way across a dark sky and the skittering of black cats and other creatures can be heard from Edmonds alleyways this evening, you will learn of one ghost who plots her way back to her earthen home. Over there, Block 3 of the cemetery grounds, one of Edmonds' unofficial entries, the woman in white. This is a tale about the specter of a young woman that takes shape in the thickening fog along Olympic View Drive. I'm speaking, of course, of that precarious bend in the road. It is there, that exact spot, where a shimmer of fog wraps its cloak around the shadows of a willowy silhouette late at night. The specter stands beside the road, trembling, uncertain in her white gossamer gown, causing solitary cars to slow down for a second look. Surely the dear maiden must be chilled as she waits for her story to be told, and her story must be told. Let's presume, as some suggest, that she is Melissa Sweet, the pleasant but not entirely bright daughter of one of Edmonds' early settler families. It was Melissa who, after all, died under unknown circumstances. The year of her death, 1899. Ah, Melissa. Beautiful 16-year-old girl whose father was employed along the waterfront as a shake mill worker at Hatch and Bosner. There weren't many opportunities for the ivory-skinned young miss. She might have become a school teacher at the standby school in Brackett's feed store on 3rd and Edmonds, but the ever-cheerful Emily Box held that position. Melissa had even inquired about an opportunity that presented itself at the sundry counter of the general store, selling ribbons and notions. But Mrs. Brackett had also rejected that idea. And so it was the only outlet for Miss Sweet was to sing in the choir at the First Congregational Church. And so she did, every Sunday making a day of it. Her voice rang out sweet and clear, the mezzo-soprano notes signaling Miss Sweet's more musky, mature nature. She would be 17 in the year of 1900. Melissa, I want you to come home right after church, no tarrying. Her father would have undoubtedly instructed her as she left the family's shabby cabin on the last day of her life, having kissed her young brothers goodbye. Yes, Papa, she might have agreed, before adding, I only need to stop at Mrs. Diner's to check on Harry and Oscar and to see about the nanny position. What we do know is that she went missing. Her body was found several days later on the path leading from the forest north that is now Olympic View Drive. It was a bitterly cold morning as the fog clawed its way up the high bank waterfront, where the cedar mills belched kiln smoke, adding to the gray, drab day. Heavy dew lay like glass beads scattered on the ground. Spiders scurried back and forth across Miss Sweet's curled, dead fingers. Purple they were and bruised, though that served as no clue as to the circumstances of her death. Miss Sweet's passing was almost certainly sudden. Photographs of her in sepia tone as she lay on the leaf-covered ground on the spindly trail that led to her father's cabin indicate blunt trauma. The death scene photographs focus on that look in Melissa's glazed eyes wide open, a look of utter surprise. Readers of the Edmonds Review would have observed that they stared into the eyes of death. I never noticed what beautiful long black eyelashes she had. One moment she's alive, the next she's dead. Or is she dead? It was accidental, the weary constable would ultimately reassure Mr. Sweet when asked the age-old question, why? And maybe that is what haunts the soul of the ghost that takes shape on the shrouded nights when foghorns out on the sound sob. As the headlights of drivers leaving Edmonds flash on the muted vision of a silhouette whose bustle and petticoats reveal a period in our history, but not the answers surrounding a young woman's death. And if we're a caring community, we should wonder about the cause of Miss Melissa Sweet's death. Perhaps if you should encounter her spirit as you drive that stretch of Olympic View Drive, lost in the fog on these clammy, still nights of late autumn, you could stop your car and ask the specter why she haunts that stretch of the drive. Or, an even more assured way to learn why she cannot move to the next station of death would be to ask her during a visit to her gravesite, Block 3, Lot 14 here at Edmonds Memorial Cemetery. She's waiting for you now.